Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'll be reviewing this fully loaded Ram 1500 Limited. I think this is a pretty interesting build, and you guys will see in the review. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Dodge Ram here in Provo for giving me some time with this truck. I'll include a link to the website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed. This is the high output, so it puts out 540 horsepower and then 521 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy is 15 around town and then 21 on the highway. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood, you guys can see the vent pieces there on either side. You've got our SST HO badge there, 1500. As well, and then you do get fancy headlights here at the Limited. Look at that, pretty fun with the overall design. This one's got the night edition, so the grille's all blacked out. You've got recovery points there at the bottom, fog lights as well, so front end's good looking. Now our steering wheel setup is 285 by 45 by 22 in the front and over in the rear, and you can see with the wheels they're completely blacked out. Now, this has the off-road package, so you have all-terrain tires. It's so funny to see all-terrain tires on such large wheels. This package also gives you HD shock absorbers as well. See how that drives. You still have the air suspension. Got the big painted fender flares, blacked out mirror cap, and then this one also has the Ram box storage as well, which, yeah, pretty cool setup here in the back. Other side has an outlet, and you can see that 4x4 decal, and then take a few steps back so you can see the side profile with the truck. This, of course, leads us to the key fob, where we've got our lock and unlock function, tailgate drop down, air suspension, lowering, remote start. Press that a couple times. Ram Limited logo there. And bada bing, bada boom. So we've got LED lights here. You've got the little cargo partition in the back, tonneau cover from the factory as well. The Ram boxes, well, they give you space on the side, but less space in the center. And then this has the automated tailgate, so you just lift it up a little bit and it'll do the rest of the work for you. We also have the little bumper step there in the back, and then you do get a fancy taillight too, or taillights rather, but there's the rest of the rear. Now, popping inside, being a Limited, you've got a very nice interior. Look at the wood trim there, really nice trim all over the rest of the door panel. Power side steps with this. And then you've got the fancier seats, which are interesting because they have some cloth here, but then it's like leather all around. You get the nicer floor mats. You still get the little storage bins there. Heated and ventilated seats in the rear, USB ports, outlet, all of that. Plenty of storage space. And this leads us up front, where still have that blacked out theme with the door panel. This does come with massaging seats. The mirrors do power fold in. They also have blind spot monitoring. There's a little button for the power fold function. Payload on this is 1,078, so a little bit on the lower side. But here's the front seat. Got nice stitching there at the top, perforated all down the center. Normal adjustments there on the side. Your pedals, you can adjust those as well, and then you can turn on the outlet there on the Ram box there. Now take a look at the steering wheel, nice trim all around. You got a little bit of wood there at the bottom. This does come with adaptive cruise control and lane centering. You've got your drive modes with this as well. And just a nice setup in general. Radio controls on the back too. Full digital gauge cluster, which will show you different bits of info. You can also switch between a digital view, analog view, but it's all digital, funny enough. And then we do have a heads-up display. This also comes with a 360 camera system, which, not the biggest screen view, but it's useful enough. This is the newer setup, so you still have the climate controls and radio controls on the side, but you've got more screen here at the bottom. So for the air suspension, that's in the screen now. Trailer brake controls are like half in the screen, trailer steering half in the screen. Do have heated and ventilated seats, dual zone climate as well, and it takes a second for some of the pages to load up, as you can see with me pressing it, but overall the screen's pretty easy to use. Now this is going to have Ram's most advanced four-wheel drive system with auto, low, and high. You also have off-road cruise control and an axle lock with this off-road package. You've got your auto stop start too. And then nice trim all across the dash. Got the stitching there, passenger screen with this. And then in the center console area, we've got our wireless phone charging pads, which is nice. Got wood trim over there, limited here on the center console, which it's got plenty of storage there. And this does slide if you want to move it to a different place. Camera rear view mirror. And then we have a power sliding rear window. And funny enough, no sunroof. So here's our window sticker for this Limited. As equipped, $89,145 is the total MSRP. It's very interesting Ram's kind of like pricing schemes right now for the 25 trucks, depending on how you option them out. Anyways, let's see how it performs. Well, I have the Limited perfectly set up. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, massage seat function on. We'll see how this is. Blind spot running through the mirrors. Throughout the rest of your... Now, I imagine this review is probably not going to get a lot of views because I've already reviewed some 25 Limiteds, but I thought it'd be interesting to see how this off-road group drives. Half of the reviews that I film are just because I am curious about a car. I'm like, are people going to watch the video? I don't know. I don't care, but we'll see how it is. I do have it in 4-wheel drive auto. It is not 53 degrees outside. It's probably like 30 something degrees outside. At least that's what it feels like. So 4-wheel drive auto is nice to have when the roads are cold and not going to get as much grip if you have it in 2-wheel drive. So what I will say right off the bat is the new high output Hurricane. It's got some good torque. Four-wheel drive auto actually makes the steering feel a little bit different than 2-wheel drive, interestingly enough. It's not as big of a difference as what you have in 4-wheel high, but yeah, the auto does make a difference. Now this still rides very, I'll actually go the other way. Still rides very, very well. Still super smooth with the air suspension. So even though it has the quote-unquote HD shock absorbers with this off-road package, it doesn't seem like it makes the ride worse. That's firmer over that compression point. And so the shock absorbers are firmer, which is what you'd want for off-road use so that you have more control. And so that the truck doesn't get beat up as much, right? Half of off-roading is making sure your vehicle just survives the onslaught. Man, Ram's air suspension is so comfortable. It really smooths out all the little bumps in the road. You gotta remember, this has 22-inch wheels, which are gonna lead to a harsher ride. But the air suspension kind of negates all of that and adds some comfort on top of it. It's pretty impressive, actually. Now, noise insulation is another thing that's impressive with the Rams. It's a very well insulated interior. There's no way it's 52 degrees outside. Usually when I drive for a little bit, there's a change, but yeah, I don't know, kind of weird. Anyways, high output. Yeah, it's fast. It's got some power. It doesn't sound very good. It's not, I wouldn't say there's just not a lot of sound. It kind of sounds like a vacuum cleaner, but like not an obnoxious one. It's like a not obnoxious vacuum cleaner. So take that as you will. And the torque is still impressive. And that's the thing, I think a lot of people, it doesn't feel quite as responsive as the Hemi, but the low end torque is strong enough that I think some people might like that compared to the Hemi. You know, you give up a little bit of noise for a little bit more punch. Not too bad. So there's no downside to this off-road package, but the current pricing scheme with Ram is so interesting because this is the same price as like being fully loaded. There's so much price crossover. Like you can make a Laramie this expensive, you can make a Limited this expensive, Tungsten, like everything is at this price point if you just deck it out. It just depends on like some pack, like, you know, Limited has more standard equipment than a Laramie, for example. And then even, yeah, the RHO, you can get the RHO pretty close to here. So I think it just, Ram's lineup is just confusing with, with the pricing, more so than other manufacturers, I would say. Because, okay, we're next to Ford and Chevy. Let's take those for example. So Ford, you've got the F-150 Raptor, which is around $80,000. I mean, you can get a Lariat kind of up there, and then you can get a Platinum for sure in that range. But basically, you really only have one package, the Platinum, that's going to be in that price point range. And then if you do a Raptor with 37s, right, their upgraded package on the Raptor, then yeah, you're not really going to have anything that's anywhere close to that. And then Chevy, you've got the ZR2, which is like their off-road package. They're like kind of top of the line on that front. And I mean, depending on how you equip that, you know, High Country is as high as it goes. So the other manufacturers are just, they don't have quite as much. Everyone has price crossover, but I feel like Ram has so much price crossover that I could see how it could be really confusing for a buyer. So let me guys think about this Limited with the off-road package. It's cool that they offer this. I also think, like, equipment wise, if someone's actually going to take their Ram truck off-road, probably just get a loaded up Rebel or get the new RHO, because the RHO, you literally get the same features, right? The high output, and you get the nicer interior, but it's also way more capable off-road because it's got 35s on 18-inch wheels, and it has the Bilstein Blackhawk shocks and a wide body. It's a different beast, obviously, but yeah. Let me know your thoughts.